We've just finished our journey on the Ambassador Ambience. It's been a fantastic trip, but there is one part of the experience that felt like a total standstill: the disembarkation. Why does a ship with only 1,400 passengers take longer to offload than a mega ship with 6,000? Today, I'm breaking down the waiting trap and the simple changes Ambassador needs to make to fix this chaos. Now, it starts at 7:30 AM, which is the time that you have to be out of your cabin. But the buffet is open till 9, so naturally everyone heads to the borough market, and by 8 AM, the buffet is full and the tables are all full of empty plates. There's no chairs available, there's no more tables available, everyone's just sat there waiting. Why? Because the passengers who have finished eating an hour ago now have nowhere else to go. Ambassador Cruise Line asks you to wait in the lounges. They allocate a lounge for you. But here's the catch. In those lounges, they charge you for refreshments. If you want a free coffee or water while you wait for your allocated disembarkation time, you're forced to stay in the buffet. This creates a massive bottleneck where new arrivals can't find a table to actually eat breakfast, while the lounges sit half empty because people don't want to be charged on their final morning. Then there's the luggage. Because the Ambience is a classic ship, she doesn't use the modern forklift systems you see on the Giants. Instead, it's the old school conveyor belts. But the tech isn't the only problem, it's the workflow. I mean, just look at how fast that conveyor belt's going. Is it slow or is it slow? You know, it needs just speeding up a little bit faster so they can chuck them on quicker. It's not like they're having to lift them and carry them. You could almost get on the ship and fetch them off quicker and carry them off than this. So just speed the belt up so that one man's putting it on the trailer as the other man's lifting it off. One man's putting it on the trailer as the other man's lifting it off. It just needs to be alternated like that. I mean, that one simple change of just speeding that conveyor up a little bit will make the difference. You know, you're off double the time quicker. Once you finally get into the arrivals hall, it's a free-for-all. People are crossing over each other, hunting for bags and blocking the exits. It's inefficient. In my opinion, the fix is quite simple. Ambassador needs to turn the arrivals hall into a one-way circle, a lane system where you collect your luggage on the way through to the exit. By using the full space of the hall for more luggage rows, they could easily clear the ship much faster, which would solve the overcrowding back up in the lounges and the buffet. Finally, let's talk about timing. The ship usually arrives at 8 AM. If Ambassador scheduled an arrival 6 or 7 AM, the ground staff would be ready and waiting. Starting the process just 1 or 2 hours earlier would prevent the 7:30 AM cabin eviction from being a 4-hour wait from a very crowded buffet. Ambassador Cruise Line has a great product, but the final impressions matters. Fixing these simple logistical hurdles would make the end of the holiday as good as the beginning. Now, another simple change that Ambassador could do is actually offer free coffee and refreshments in the lounges. This would help clear the bottleneck in the breakfast buffet. Now, we're not talking on the gourmet coffees from behind the bar, we're talking on the same style of coffee that you get in the buffet. They do them hot flasks. You've just got to put one of those in the corner with some mugs, and same with the water and some glasses, and you can all help yourself to a little refreshment just before you leave. Again, if you wanted to buy Cokes and you know, your gourmet coffee, feel free. Don't get me wrong, we have enjoyed our Ambassador Ambience 16-night cruise. It's just a few little things that Ambassador could do to improve it even more, and these are just my honest opinions. Have you experienced the Ambassador Ambience wait? Do you think it's fair to charge for refreshments in the lounges on the final morning? Let me know in the comments. And if you're planning an Ambassador cruise, check out our other videos to help you prepare. Now, I'll place on screen a copy of the letter that you'll get on the night prior about your disembarkation times, and also about leaving your luggage out. Now, they do an express disembarkation. Now, we have tried this before on another cruise ship and I can't recommend it. I mean, my parents are elderly. Now we've all got a couple of cases each, one big, one little, and you have to take your own luggage off. Now, if you're a little bit younger and you've perhaps not got heavy luggage, yep, ideal. If you've only got, just say, the little 10 kilo hand luggage or something like that, great. But we've got great big massive cases, 25 kilos in the big case and perhaps 10 kilos or less in the other one. My mum and dad was absolutely, by the time we'd got to the car. I mean, it wasn't far, don't get me wrong, but you've got to, there's a ramps up to the, off the ship, then there's ramps here and ramps down, and it's a walk around the arrivals halls and things like that. We were knackered by the time we'd done it, so we said we'd never ever do that again. So yep, we always leave our luggage outside the day before, and on Ambassador Ambience they want it out by 11 o'clock on the evening, and then the staff fetch it from there, and then you pick it up in the arrivals hall. It's so much easier, to be honest. Now we'd got an allocated time, I think it was 10:50. Now we was only probably like 10 minutes late getting off. It was 11 o'clock, there was a little bit delayed, but to be honest, we'd left the buffet just after 8, and that's a long time sat, waiting, bored. My dad, he needs to be kept entertained all the time, so he was getting agitated and so on. It was just too long sat there doing nothing. Now I went off walking around the ship because the staff was cleaning all the cabins out and the doors was open, and I was able to nip in and out some of the cabins, and I filmed a few. So if you want to go back onto the channel, there's a couple of videos there of cabin tours on Ambassador Ambience, and then there's one with I think it's 10 or more, and I'll put you the link above here, or it'll be at the end of this video. Now, one big tip, don't try getting off before your allocated time, as your luggage will not be there. It takes them that long to get the luggage off, and they haven't got tons of room in that arrivals hall, but they have got a lot more room that they could be using. So just don't get there before, and they won't actually let you off, to be honest. Now we left our cabin around 7:15, maybe 7:10, and we now get to the car, and it's literally 11:15. Now that was 4 hours. That was a long 4 hours, and it should have only took half that, and that includes having your breakfast. So let me know in the comments if you think that was a long disembarkation, or that was an acceptable one. Me, I think it was too long, and I think we could improve that with my recommendations. We now have a 3.5 hour drive home, and look what the children have left us. Well, a 3 hour drive home, and our beautiful children has left us the dishwashers to unload, and the washing machine was full. I've just chucked that in their room. We've just started now the big mammoth task of the unpacking and the washing. So that's 16 days of washing. Back to reality, pissing it down with rain, and we're at the supermarket. Well, that completes our disembarkation on Ambassador Ambience, and if you'd like to watch another one on Ambassador Ambience, click here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.